Alex Coffey at TD Ameritrade joins us now for the Trader Rundown. Lots to get to today, Alex.
Yeah, tons to unpack.
We have Jerome Powell, the Fed chair on Capitol Hill once again today, and he has become the market mover.
Yeah, and so he began his talks on Tuesday, just kind of opening remarks, nothing really, no Q&A, nothing really moved on that. Of course, yesterday, huge move on his remarks because he came out and he basically gave the market what they wanted, confirming that it looks like they're going to go ahead and go with at least the 125 basis point cut here in the end of the month in July. And again, this isn't necessarily something that's been a surprise. Markets have been pricing this in for weeks and weeks now, but it took a little while to get the Fed to go from where they were, just a couple months ago with their narrative to where they are now, kind of setting the stage for that to actually happen.
You are getting ahead of earnings and the Fed really with a play in the bank sector.
Yeah, and so it's been kind of that quiet period. You have no stock-specific headlines outside of, company specifics here and there, but no earnings news at least for the last month or so. And we're about to break into that new earnings season here next week. Citigroup kicks it off Monday morning, followed by JP Morgan and Wells Fargo. And so kind of a look ahead to next week. We're looking at Citigroup on Monday morning. That would be a Friday afternoon earnings play if you're looking to do something in the earnings plays. I'm seeing a ton of open interest in the 67.5 puts. This is a stock that's over $70 right now. 75-ish area has been where that high was. So definitely a stock that's had a bid. But the financial sector in general has lagged a little bit given where the interest rates are and those global growth concerns weighing on these banks, and so maybe a little bit of a speculative trade looking for a little bit of a pullback off those recent highs.
What about JP Morgan?
JP Morgan, also the same thing. You've seen it struggle around that 115, 116 level over the last year or so multiple times. Only had one meaningful break really above that level. We're kind of creeping up towards that again. Volatility pricing in about a 2% move, which feels small, but we're still seeing a little bit of the 110, 105 puts being sold as a spread below that expected move and a little bit out of the money there, looking to take advantage of volatility and also take advantage of maybe a slight pullback or an upwards move on earnings.
And finally, Wells Fargo.
Wells Fargo relatively lagging its peers, but no surprise. We all know the company-specific headline and the risks regulatory-wise and kind of the kickback there with Wells Fargo. This has weighed on its stock performance over the last couple of years, but when you look at Wells Fargo, all that bad news priced in, it's still one of the big major banks, and we're seeing, maybe a little bit of traders going in looking for a little bit of a bounce on this earnings announcement. The 47.5, 49.5 call spreads being bought next week, July monthlies.
Good to know. Thanks so much for all that trader talk today. For more Business First AM, check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.